All right. So, the moon finally printed. We were struggling with that for a while. Let me turn down the music in my ear. It was kind of loud. I enjoy it. Some nice, chill Pokemon life, lo-fi. All right. So right now, we're gonna go take the moon off of the printer, and the way we're gonna show that is with this camera, with the phone, and we'll look at Umbreon while we're in there. Check to see if he's dry. Okay, we're gonna pop the moon off, drop it off on the desk behind me. Then we'll set up the camera. So I did a thing again. Sorry for the really shaky telephoto lens on there. There we go. Wider angle. Probably should have thought this through a little better. So I put this up here. I'm gonna flip the camera over. Flips. Alright, well, the best part about figuring things out is figuring them out on the fly. This is not gonna work as well as I thought it was. Well, kind of. Because the angle I'm gonna need is this right here anyway. I see. Okay. So, I have an easy way to remove it off of there. Let's grab this moon while we're down here. At least you saw me grab it like that. Alright. Check that out. Looks pretty dope, right? All we're going to do is make sure it sits the containers. No, that's not it. Anyway, we're just going to pop the reason I'm really making sure it's popped off first is because I don't want it to break. All this can go into the little scraps. Gotta have this ready to print in a few days anyway. 'Cause I don't think there's anything else I need to print with this right now. I really don't recommend doing this with your fingernail, but I'm obviously being lazy and hard-headed. I need to get it under this part right here. There you go. After that, peeled rather nicely. Said rather, not completely, right? Probably don't need to do it now, but I'd rather go ahead and do it. Interesting. Alright, I'll clean that better later. I think once I rinse it off, or wash it off, it'll come off nicely. And alright, so this is where I had an idea. This here. Sorry, I'm moving the camera so much. Oh, it'd have to be the other way, right? Yeah, that way the big knob isn't in the way right here. Yep. And I have better control over the camera. Now I can reach it, change. Like, it might not be the straightest. It's alright. Nope. So Umbreon seems to be pretty dry, but this is the moon right here. And I'll show y'all out there in a second. But to not do that yet. It's one of the fun parts about 3D printing. I wanted to put Umbreon to cure if he's good to go, because that takes about 10 minutes. But in order to do that, I need to move some stuff. Don't need to move him out. What I do need to grab is this, because these UG heads are actually cured. I need this invisible looking plate. It's not really invisible. It actually magnetically attaches onto the cure station and it rotates the print. And I think the best option is probably going to be put Umbreon like that on there. But yeah, no. Definitely feels like all the resin came out. Wipe that down. Solid. Actually, might be better just with the wire thing and not the reason I use this is the UV light beams onto it. I think Umbreon should be able to completely spin without worrying about not getting out, but bumping into something. Where's the yellow hood for that? Let me see. Could have switched back to the ultralight so you can see what I'm doing over here. Yeah, you can see. And I need to make sure to change it to cure, because if not, it starts spinning real fast. I mean, like real fast. So I think you can see from there. Okay, he got knocked over a bit. Let's see. Telephone. So this is going to be a bit of an issue. Because I think that's the best way we can do that. Unless... no, that's even wider out that way. That actually barely even fit in there. We're just gonna have to keep an eye on it. Hopefully it doesn't get knocked over too bad. The legs are having to push here, but it is turning. It was turning. Okay, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? Yeah. Alright, so the idea I just had was leave them on that, take them off of here, not worry about that. Oh no, that magnetically attaches anyway. Frick. So that'll spin, but this won't. Can you do the stand? There we go. Take that out. Put Umbreon in that. And just have them cure half and half. At least this way I know. He was leaning one way, and then I can lean him the other. Let's hope that works how I envisioned it. We'll take off the glove. We can take the moon with us. I don't think there's gonna be a lot to do with the moon. So I need to move the mouse over here. I can put that away for now. We're gonna switch over to the table. Sorry, I had to renaming something threw me off there. Well, source clone. Real face cam. Sorry. I should have done this earlier. We just need to copy filters. Table scene. Boom. No. All the way up. Paste filters. Boom. And as long as I place that in the right position, now I can copy that. Go to the main scene, paste, boom. There we go. So it's behind me now at least. Looks like I might have to adjust some settings. But anyway, I'll move over there now. Table scene. Hopefully this looks how I was intending. Definitely gotta fix something here. But oh, that's the shadow it's looking at. I'll leave this right there for now. While I grab the mouse, turn on the TV. No, I said I would have more of a plan today. Is it not continuously focusing? What is going on here? What about now? It's better. But it should be continuously focusing. Oh my God, these settings. I should have full control of this lens. What? No, it is continuously focusing. I don't know why it didn't a bit ago. Alright, now I can do the Elgato settings from over here. I apologize for having to fix so much on stream. It just always seems to happen that way, right? Like, I don't understand why this goes up. Huh. Interesting. Settings that had changed before have changed again. Alright, it's gonna be kind of tricky to see some of the details anyway. Okay, over here it doesn't look as bad. Or not bad. Just, you know when you notice something and it's gonna bother you? That's what's happening right now. Just like, if I don't fix this right here, why is the camera doing that? And just have it spot focus. That way, when I line up right here, it stays correctly focused. Nope. Further that one. I think there. Now that looks real weird. Sorry to continue fixing stuff on stream, but alright. Oh, it's somewhat better. Anyway, that was the other thing I needed to do. I'll be right back. Alright, now it actually matches my movement. Boom. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna continue to say boom. It's just, I don't know. That's what I've been saying lately. Anyway, this moon ended up looking pretty good. I'll show it off over here too, yeah. I think on this won't be too bad. I imagine. Ooh, that doesn't look bad at all. Haha, just had an idea. Just gotta figure out. There we go. It's also because that light is really bright. There you go. You see a lot more details there. I think there's fun. It's 6.3. Oh wait, yes, it did it correctly. It cut it in front of the screen. Two totally different color temperatures, but nonetheless, looks pretty dope. Now I know we'll be able to show Umbreon off this way too. Which is gonna be pretty cool, pretty cool. All right. I was like, wait, this is Legend of Zelda now. How bright is it gonna look when I move into frame? I know, I'm like super dark there. Okay. I mean, we're used to having to mess with settings, right? Alright, 2.5 should cut it. Yeah. That way it's not too bright either. Guess another way to look at it. This actually doesn't have much we have to clean out. The bottom came out pretty clean. Hold on, let me. Really, you just gotta peel that off. The edges came out real nice. Again, there's just like a small one you gotta kind of pull off. Could just be like one of the layers that went around as the skirt that helps keep it flat, especially during the first layer. That really helps keep it seated on the printer. But for as much as I was talking shit about this specific filament, I'm glad to see. Hold on, is that tight? I'm glad to see that this actually printed fine. Probably I'm gonna need a new blade soon. Oh, and Nick Petty, this one's for you. Shout out to my boy. You wanted to see layer lines. Can you see layer lines there? I'll show it off on the phone in a bit too. I think it might show up really nice on the phone actually. You can see some layer lines, but it's not really that visible. When I say that visible, I mean like almost at all. But yeah, for as much crap I was talking about this specific filament giving me over the years, this specific spool, this printed out really nicely. I'm really glad I chose to do the moon with this material. Let me grab the phone real quick. I flipped Umbreon around while I was in there. I could have talked through that, but alright, let's put away this for a second and switch to the iPhone. I'm gonna move it out the way. Right here it actually gets really nice lighting. Don't look at my cable management. It's been terrible. And then I proceed to, actually, ultra wide doesn't look terrible. Actually, I'm all up in the shot. I'm so sorry. Alright, back camera. There we go. Yeah, no, that came out really nice. But you can definitely see the layer lines once you look closer at it. But I think with the moon texture, it's enough to not really notice. Boom. Alright, and I just put, oh, there's a little comparison picture. I imagine made in resin would look cool, but I don't actually think this would have fit in my printer. Unless it was, which way would it have been orientated? Like this? That would suck. Or it'd have to be something like this to keep as much detail right here. But anyway, I was going to pull up. Oh no, I could have left the iPhone camera up because I flipped Umbreon around. I need a better phone holder. I probably should have. Nope, not ultra wide. Telephone wrong. That's a little under 3 minutes. It's not bad at all. All right. So once Umbreon here is done, we're gonna do a dry fitting. Dry fitting just means dry fitting just means we make sure all the parts fit together correctly before doing any more work. This doesn't really need more work. Plus side. Yeah, because even the bottom, the glue actually kept most gaps from even forming. There's a few, very, very few. But it's not bad at all. So with the dry fitting, we'll then need, actually I'll just leave, rather just do this. You're gonna need the sand. Don't think we'll need the alligator pins or teeth. But to hold it up while I'm painting, actually, would it be easiest to just hold upside down? Not 100% sure. Because it's a bigger model. Cool. Right on time. Now that it's done, just to be safe. How about it? I guess that would have been something I think about. I'm gonna put it for a few more minutes. There's a part that felt real soft, and I just rather make sure that even the feet feel completely dry. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. My power wash bottle was empty. What a shame. It's surprising how well those work. Alright. I left the mouse over here again. Alright. Let's see, where is... And drag this right here. Chat. Boom. You know what? I just realized I never put the streaming tweet out. Ah! Luckily, that was just water and I caught it. Okay, some fell on the table, but not a lot. Alright, so Instagram. We're not gonna overthink it, right? We need to put the link. Twitch.tv/NotSoAvg. Umbreon Moon Project stream. Let's see, what song? Yeah, sounds good to me. A GIF that says live. Umbreon Moon Project stream. Boom. Posted. Didn't have time to overthink that. That water's gonna drop. I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna keep it further out off this table. What's funny is I even brought a bottle today. Why can't I subscribe to this amazing channel? Because a few years ago I terminated my affiliate status when you couldn't multi-stream yet without getting in trouble, even though no one was getting in trouble. How you doing, man? Hope you've been well. I didn't get to reply to the comment on the video earlier, or I guess the stream from yesterday. But I still have my old emotes from when I was affiliate. Okay, so Umbreon finished now. I've knocked this over a good amount of times already. Let me grab Umbreon. And I just knocked the shit out the camera. Alright, let's see how do the paws feel. Okay, yeah. I'll put it a few more minutes. The thing is, I don't have a good way to guarantee that the feet are gonna get a good amount of light. Unless something like that. Meant to add time. We'll do 3 minutes. Let me adjust this right here too, because I'm not happy with the light. I hate auto white balance, but I think it's going to be the better choice. I've been pretty good. Just working. Getting into new hobbies. I 3D print now, and figured I'd start doing all of it all at once. Like I think I started like 3 years ago. Around the time I stopped streaming. Originally, I think it was like 2019, I thought about 3D printing, or no, I think it was 2020. I was talking with one of my buddies, Eddie, and told him that I think it'd be cool with resin printing to print something so detailed that you could take photos of it. And it looked really good, because a lot of people already do figure photography, and I enjoy doing that. But I just like being difficult, I think is a good way to put it. And I like a good challenge. So the idea of being able to print something at a good enough quality that I'm proud of taking pictures of it, I think is really cool. I have big ideas for some projects, but I need to achieve and collect a certain amount of skills before I get there. And that's the very reason why I've done like moon photography, why like even with the figures that I've taken photos of in the last year, and now the printer that prints at 12K, that's really more like 8, but it's to the point where that Umbreon, you're not going to be able to see nearly as much layer lines as you see on here, and this one's pretty clean. But the resin printer just prints with such a high quality, and the layers are so thin that, especially once you paint it, you don't see it. Let me see. I'm gonna start knocking shit over. I appreciate that. It's been a hobby that I've grown to enjoy. It is definitely one that makes me want to pull my hair out at times. But like I said, when something ends up looking so good that you're happy to take a photo of it and post it. Not gonna lie, this one is kind of dusty just because it's gonna be the best way to show it off. This way. I've knocked the moon over so many times, I just want to see how that looks too. Alright, so like, let's frame this. I actually think this will look pretty dope. Looks pretty centered. Alright, how about here? You know, it'd help if I didn't have the phone showing too, right? Torin, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, there we go. So lowering the camera definitely helped there. Let's angle this. Bring this closer. Don't fall off. Don't fall. Don't fall. There we go. How can I get that to be even higher still? I'm gonna just take it off the tripod to show real quick. More or less a shot from like here I think would look really cool. Increase the not the ISO, the f-stop. Bump up the ISO just to show the detail. I think that looks pretty good. Of course, like, I'm not the one designing the 3D prints. I'd love to be at a point where I can design stuff myself, but that is actually really difficult. And it's not a skill that I guess I'm not ready to learn yet. At some point I will, but at the same time, I'm not in a rush, because there's already so many people that do it so well. And I also want to make sure that I'm decent with the 3D printing part first. I don't know, I do things so out of order. I'm good, just charging my phone in the car at the moment. Gotcha. Man, I hate when I don't accidentally take out the cable. I forget to put the cable back in the car. Even though it's not really shouldn't be a problem now that the most current, I mean, even last year's iPhone was USB-C. That's the one I have, the 15. I actually think it was a good choice to move to USB-C. Thank you. This angle actually kind of looks cool too. Oh, some Ghibli lo-fi. Let's go. Alright, so now I'm gonna pop this back up. You're gonna see the camera shaking there one more time. I wanted to see how much it did shake. Alright, it is most definitely cured now. It really is crazy how far resin printing has gotten, because it is near impossible to see some of these layer lines. Let me see if I can I can slide that so far forward that it doesn't mess with that. Not that one. Here we go. We got Umbreon. Why is this camera lagging like that? So I was a little concerned with how bright this might actually look on camera. So I had this ready. I think Umbreon also just won't reflect past a certain amount. Alright. So now for this dry fit. Alright, obviously, square peg lines up there. I was a little worried for a second that it wasn't going to line up. Oh, this is going to be like a snug fit. That, even just there, that looks pretty badass. Look at that. Look at that. We did a thing. There you go. You know, probably center it, right? For a nice even spin. Let's get that that nice shot. See, this is where, like, my love for multiple things starts to come in real handy. There. And there's good. Actually, I did want to bring it a little closer. That way you can really see all those details. I wish I had a better like turntable. Cool. Just gonna see if there's a good way to show other specific details. I like how it does something there. Yeah. Alright, so the idea now is sand Umbreon, because he has some spots where you can see right here these specks. I'm trying to think of a good way for that to look, show on camera. It's gonna be easiest without the moon. I just was being lazy, not taking it off. There we go. See? But these spots right here. Alright. These spots here. All that I gotta sand. Besides that, Umbreon himself looks really, really good. Actually, probably would have looked fine on there with the light there. Heck yeah, that looks really good. But I gotta fix my ISO, my other settings, because it's gonna be too bright there. And turn that off again. Oh, I almost lined that up in the first try, but it did not. But now we can get this off of here. It is like a nice snug fit for Umbreon in there. Gotta see what is the best way to plug some of these holes. Let's see. And make sure this part is smooth. I didn't mean to make it an ASMR stream, I promise. But there's gonna be a decent amount of sanding sound. I used to actually hate the texture of sandpaper. I don't know, it kind of like gave me chills. It just didn't feel right. But now I use sandpaper all the time. I mean, I did also when I was younger because my dad is a woodworker. And he's done all sorts of jobs, which means I've helped with all sorts of jobs. Definitely want to make sure going towards every hole here is smooth. Because with painting, that's gonna fill, so I'm not super worried about that being there. Well, the holes being there. I'm more concerned with how smooth it feels when going over those holes. Because that you will feel through the paint. Yeah, like there, that feels pretty smooth. I don't remember the grit. I just remember I bought it at Hobby Lobby, and I actually enjoy using these little like bendy sanding like tools. So here's one of the parts where it still felt sticky, or I don't know, it didn't feel as dry as certain other parts, but I know it's because it was just the liquid resin that had like cured there. Like, I'm not mad that it went to like other video game lo-fi, though I know I put Pokemon. I think Poke and Chill just like ended a little while ago. Yeah, because we've been going for about an hour now. Alright, cool. That feels pretty smooth. We'll smooth this out here in a second. This elbow here kind of has like a funky little shape to it. But I could definitely smooth out the paw a little more. Because I guess it was like a glob of resin that I missed right there. Like, had I noticed it, I could have used like a paper towel to take it off. Alright, almost got it there. It's crazy how much patience this all requires, and how impatient of a person I can be sometimes. It surprises me that I've had the patience to learn as much as I have about like 3D printing. Especially when, like, for me, it's almost like a means to a different end than most people. There's a lot of people like 3D print to sell stuff, but every now and then I might do something like that. But I think it's more as a print service, not me printing specific things to sell. Oh yeah, there we go. Paw feels way nicer now. Heck yeah. When I say it's like a means to another, to like a different end, is like the photography I was talking about earlier. I just want to see if I can do it. It's a good challenge, and I don't know. I think it kind of tests my tenacity and my willingness to learn. And in general, like, there's two different versions of 3D printing. One that lends itself, for the most part, towards utility. But people still use it, of course, to like do whatever they want, because that's kind of the nature of 3D printing, right? Having the ability to print whatever you want. Caveat, needing someone who can actually design the stuff if you can't. Or also learning, because Blender is free. And I say that because I do actually have it downloaded. I have done one of the like modeling classes or like YouTube video tutorials. And I made a sword that glows, and it's cool. Then I tried my hand at designing a keycap, and I actually got to get back around to that project because what I had pitched for um, the booth that I was working at TwitchCon was we could give away 3D printed caps, because resin printing, like, you get the high quality, and one of the things that I've really enjoyed is being able to print my own keycaps, which is why the keyboard over here to my left is missing keycaps along the top. It has two right now. I think it's a Mikey and a Wano Luffy before the raid. Like, you know, where he had the top knot, and I don't even want to incorrectly try to just assume the name of the outfit he had, like the style of it. Like, I don't think it's a kimono, right? There's a few spots on the head where I'm gonna have to sand. It's not a lot, so I'm not worried about that right now. And I just want to make sure it's smooth. So Umbreon is one of my favorite Pokemon, but I will never claim to say that I've used them as a as a proper special defense tank, because that has never been how I played the game. There are people who are much better at that than myself, like my friend Angel. I've always had more of a, almost like, imagine a relationship with the Pokemon, in the sense of, ever since I was a little kid and we were moving a lot, Pokemon was a game that let me hop into different worlds and just let me be who I wanted to be. And at that point, of course, it was like Pokemon Master, right? Which is why, like, you play through the games and all, catch all the Pokemon, fill the Pokedex, and then I'd get my games to a point where I'm like, alright, now let's hack it. Because I've already put 800 hours into it. Specifically, did that with Diamond, to the point where in Jubilife City, there's a character that, like, somehow overlapped another one, and it just never got unstuck, or it was a way that they put in to, like, be able to tell that your game was modified. By modified, I mean I used action replay, I think. But Umbreon, even in Diamond, was one of my, like, final team members, like, with the international decks. Because, let me see. It was Torterra, Charizard, Lucario, Giratina, Umbreon, I think, where's my electric? Electivire. I know Electivire wasn't the best Pokemon, but I really enjoyed the design. Was that 6? Torterra, Charizard, Giratina, Umbreon, Electivire. I don't remember. Dang, that chat bot crashed. Real weird. There we go. No, didn't never post that story. Oh, it did. Okay. For some reason, I thought it didn't. Well, when I say for some reason, on my phone, it showed 95%. It's still uploading story. Like, ah. This part definitely has a lot more spots where the supports like broke on the tail instead of out of, which is why we end up with all the holes. It's the supports. Like if I used thinner supports, it probably would have come off cleaner, or just a lot smaller holes. But even smaller holes would have been fine. Probably just a denser amount of supports. There's a lot of terminology you end up learning with 3D printing, which is cool. But then you gotta remember it all. And switching hobbies, you tend to take breaks from other ones. And after a while, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot that's what you call this or that. Alright, looks like it's getting closer to being just completely smooth. I'm just trying to make sure I don't hit the line where it turns into the line here on the tail. Yeah, I think Diamond was peak me playing Pokemon when I was most into it. But it wasn't even the first time I had an Umbreon. I think the first time was playing the crystal version I bought when I got the Umbreon card pack at GameStop. I'd gone with my dad. I was just a kid. I can't remember. I was like, how long ago was that? It was so long ago. Game Boy Color games, or Game Boy games, were still releasing in stores. Kids don't know what it's like. I'm finally at the age. Kids don't know what it was like back in the day. Definitely wish back then we had good, like, game cases like we do now. Not to say Blu-ray cases are all that, right? Not what I mean at all. I mean, like, yo, we got we got our games in cardboard back in the day. Not even in plastic. Would they be like heat shrink wrapped? Sure. But we just also didn't really keep a lot of the cardboard then. Why? Because, like, it was so easy to mess up. Right. The underside feels alright. Yeah, it feels pretty clean. There's a few spots up here. I'm sorry, I know no one's ever manhandled an Umbreon like this before. Alright, now I can probably tackle the spot on the tail. I just don't want to mess up that line right there. Luckily, on the ring, there's very few spots I feel like I really need to hit. I think a rather fast, light pass should suffice. The real tricky part, I think, will be the ears. And the back of the head a little bit too. If you heard a dog, that was Deku downstairs. Which, when I was in the middle of working on this Umbreon yesterday, or while we were on stream, I was thinking about like making a comparison of Umbreon to Deku, but then I was like, no, it'd make more sense to compare him to like a Houndour. Fiery little rascal. But he's chilling downstairs because as long as I'm working with like 3D printing stuff, I'd rather them not be up here for their own safety and just not worrying about something falling and them just being curious, them being Deku and Ozzy. I mean, hey, something fell on the floor, what is that? Most reasonable thought for a dog. But now that it's October, I'll actually say what my plans are for the month. I was going to say them yesterday, then I realized I got distracted halfway into a whole different thought and conversation. This week is finishing up this Umbreon, then Sunday we will start on either a Jack Skellington inspired bucket or jack-o'-lantern. Either way, it's going to be made with PLA, so that means I'm going to be using the FDM printer again. This ear is nice and clean. I'll rinse it off here in a little bit. Then I'll let it dry, and tomorrow we can hit it with a nice base coat. What's tomorrow? Wednesday? Yeah. The week after Jack Skellington, we're working on Kaiju number 8. That one's for the most part printed. There's a few parts I need to reprint, and I think it's the logo, because every time I've printed it up until now, it breaks in half. Just because it's too thin for some reason. I don't know. Then I think there's a couple effects for it that we have to reprint. Just little thin ones. Nothing too crazy. And we're gonna airbrush that one. Ooh, is that Kingdom Hearts? No, it's not. It kind of sounded like Traverse Town. Wait, is that the one I'm thinking? Since that week we don't have to really print, it's going to be mainly on painting, because for the most part the actual model of Kafka is printed already, or I mean painted with a white base coat. Dang, did I go too flat there? I did. I need to make sure to round that out a bit. Might have accidentally added a side to that. There we go. I accidentally had made a side kind of flat. Week after that, we're going to be working on a no face mask. So I can dress up as No Face from Spirited Away, which was my first Ghibli movie. Last year. I think it was last year, or was it earlier this year? Adam will let me know when I ask. But it was last year, I'm pretty sure. It was my first Ghibli movie. Why hadn't I watched them? Well, I don't know. I just had always heard such great things about those movies, and I knew that they get re-released in theaters every now and then. I wanted that to be the main way that I watched. At this point, I watched Spirited Away, The Boy and the Heron. Both of them saw them in theaters. But also now, difference is, I have a projector downstairs with a 100-inch screen. So it's like I just watch. It's like going to the theater in my living room. There's a spot that is kind of tricky right here. I just don't want to flatten out any other detail by accident. Alright, I got it. Alright, smooth, smooth, smooth. Alright here. But yeah, No Face. Gonna make a whole cosplay out of that. I think I have like black bed sheet that I'm gonna use. I just gotta figure out what I need to sew, because I gotta figure out the sleeves, or if I just wear a black shirt. I'm not gonna think about it too much. We'll think about it as we get closer to the project. But after that, there's actually a really cool like Dia de los Muertos Luffy, and that'll line up for the week of Dia de los Muertos / the end of Halloween. Just want to make sure this bottom part is properly rounded, because I felt some of it not as flat as it probably could have been. Yeah, let's put it there, over here. Again, hope you've enjoyed the sanding ASMR. That's smooth there. That could still use a little bit. But not too bad for using just this one stick of sanding material. I really wish I remembered what the grit was. That's a lot better. There's a small area right here. Just a little bit more force. Nice round circles. Wax on, wax off style, you know. One of my favorite things about that saying is I don't know if Karate Kid is actually where I first heard it, like the original, or if it was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the first live action movie, because I can't remember which one of them says it, but they say it jokingly. Alright, so Umbreon is now sanded, it's smooth. Alright, let's see if he fits on here a little better. Oh yeah, this time just slid right into place. Look at that. So I'll have to figure out a way to like measure percentage of the project done. But I think this means tomorrow we can paint. We're gonna have to pick colors first. Pick colors, clean the airbrush, and at least hit it with the base coat, right? Should I do the eyes white first, then use, where is it? It's like a masking liquid. This solidifies and removes really easily, but say I hit the eyes first, then cover it with this. Actually, go ahead and do white, then gold. Yeah, white, gold, this, once it's dry. Then do the rest of them black. I could probably go ahead and do the rings too. We shall figure that part out tomorrow, because our time has come to an end. And like we went from Sunday night 2 days ago, this just being files on the computer that we set up for printing, went through 3 failures with the moon, but finally got it, and it looks really good, even though I was talking garbage about the material. Umbreon has been really smooth to have done so far, honestly. There was quite a bit of sanding I did have to do today, which not that big a deal, especially when I don't have to sand the other part. But now just have to clean him up, prep him for airbrush tomorrow. This definitely should be done by Saturday. The idea with every project is going to be having them complete by Saturday. That way, Sunday, get to the next project. So we have until Saturday to finish the Umbreon project. And then, let's see. I don't know if this is the shelf Umbreon is going to go on, because I was considering making this the shelf where I put all the 3D printed projects. There we go. Look, don't judge me, I was struggling, okay? I was thinking, like up here, how does that look? You can't really see it because of my big ass head. The other thing I was thinking was rotating projects on this shelf and the other one over there. We'll figure it out. But for now, I'll leave Umbreon there because you can definitely see it decently well from there. And we're going to call it a night. Hope y'all have enjoyed the stream. Thank you for joining me as we make this into an actual thing, into a physical object, and hopefully by the end of the week it looks good. Until tomorrow, have a good evening, good morning, good night, wherever you are in the world. Adios.